Hello, welcome to the channel. Part 4 now of the 350Z. Oh man, do I not feel good. Don't get sick, people. But, so I've been doing a little bit of work while not filming, but from here on out, kind of update you guys right now, and then from here on out, I'll try and do some footage. You can watch me work, but basically this idler pulley goes on first, 3 bolts, one here, one there, and then this one goes through this bracket, which is the power steering bracket, and there's 2 more bolts back here on the back side. So this one has to go on first because it like sandwiches, kind of spaces in between these two. You can see it, and then this bracket here in the front, which is this bolt, and that bolt. And then you can put the alternator on, which would be this bolt. And then this swinging bracket right here should be this bolt and this bolt. What else have I done? Oh, I came across the intake spacer that I was talking about, the gasket that I was trying to find. I finally found it, so I'm gonna take that top of the intake back off, throw that gasket in there, and then also in the door pocket of the car I came across these. So I wonder if these are the bolts that I'm supposed to be using. Plus they look really cool, like oil slick or whatever you call it. Pretty sweet, but I'll probably throw those in instead of using the stock bolts. It'll look much prettier. But that, and then let's see. So the coil pack's on. Get the manifolds on. Oh, I also man, I don't feel good. I also threw the sandwich plate on right here for the oil filter cooler. So basically, unscrew the oil filter. Then on the back side of this, like same type of surface, there's a like a rubber gasket basically, and that presses up against it. And then this is what threads into where the actual oil filter used to thread onto. And that's how you tighten it down, is with this nut right here. But they say in the manual, just so you know, in case somebody lost the manual or something, but to cock it at about 10 degrees or 10 o'clock, because the way that the angle is, it makes it easier for you to run your lines behind this and not have so much interference. Or you don't want it hanging down, like basically too low, and rub your lines off, or basically, you know, cause a catastrophe. So yeah, just a little information right there. Alright, so I got these little cool little bolts in, the little oil slick, whatever you call it, like a washer kind of around it. This kit came with only a certain amount. I don't really understand. There's smaller ones, but these are too short to go between this distance. So I don't know, there's 4 extra. The only thing I can think of is like for the cover thing, this plastic cover that's supposed to go on here. Maybe that's the last 4 bolts for that. So I just ended up using some of the like spacer kit bolts here, just the stock looking ones. And I put all the nice ones up front, that way you can, you know, a lot easier to see when it's in the car. So, the gasket's on, nice pretty Allen wrench bolts are on, and keep making progress. Alright, pushing through it. So, I got the heat shield covers on. I got this like a coolant bypass, comes out of the back of both heads. Has a sensor in it. Threw that on there. Got the intake as you've seen, you watched that. Got most of the harness on here. Kind of weird how they designed it, that it wraps all the way around the motor, but I'm figuring it out as I go. It definitely helps when you tear things apart yourself. That makes it a lot simpler in my mind. Alright, so we're making good progress. So one thing to keep in mind is, I believe, if I'm correct, this car was an automatic. So that would explain, this portion is the transmission wiring harness portion, and that would kind of explain why the wires are jumped and cut. I'm gonna have to try and figure that out, because on the car side, somebody basically just very cheaply just twisted those wires together right here, coming out of the fuse box, then twisted them again, and then ran it to, I'm assuming, the positive terminal. I don't quite know yet. I'm gonna have to look up how it's supposed to be routed, but I'd imagine it goes to the positive terminal. But I think that's the bypass to well, it just fell off, but the bypass to like the neutral safety switch. That way you can trick it into it thinking it's constantly in park, I think is the idea behind that. But anywho, figuring out the wiring harness, it's taken me a little bit of time, because, you know, I didn't tear it apart, so I'm kind of taking a good guess on where things go and how it's all routed up and stuff. But I think I got a pretty good idea. How it swirls here in the back's kind of weird. That might be normal. I'm not entirely sure. This all seems like it goes here, and it's honestly kind of ugly because it goes around. It would have been better if they'd have done like a split harness, where just one half goes on this side and one half goes on that side. It'd be a lot cleaner and a lot prettier, but I also understand too, it's a very tight engine bay, so you gotta work with what you got. But we're doing good, making good progress. I am feeling like absolute crap. Don't get sick. I probably got the coronavirus. No, I'm just kidding, but it feels like it. It's pretty gnarly, but I'm pushing through it, and we gotta keep these projects going, so it isn't gonna end. And hopefully you'll see me tomorrow. That means it's probably not the coronavirus. Pretty much ready to throw the whole thing in the car, which should be tomorrow, if I can get this line fixed. This line right here, I don't want to have to try and fish out from underneath of it when the motor's on top of it, and that'll just end up being a nightmare. It'll be a lot easier. I mean, yeah, a lot easier. Just undo that side and then make a new line and call it a day. And I might remove these lines because these are the old AC lines. Literally doing nothing. So it'll be nicer with it being a little bit cleaner. Was my idea. So stay tuned, like, subscribe, and we'll see you tomorrow. Well, hopefully, if I don't die.